Hi guys, welcome to our band mobility session. So this is a quick routine you can do at the start or the end of the day. I've got a resistance band here, but you could do this with a dressing gown belt or a yoga strap, whatever you have to hand. These are quite good because you can get a little bit more into the stretches with that element of resistance. So you're going to start off with the feet about hip width apart and take the strap with an overhand grip here and just start to lift it overhead with the arms extended. Don't reach too far. You can see at this point in time, keep this movement going. I'm staying with the hands kind of in line with the feet at the top. I'm not reaching right over yet. So just do a few of these. Try and relax your breath, breathe nice and fluidly as well. A couple more. And then keep it overhead. In this position here, we're just going to take it side to side. So I've got a Y shape with the hands here. I'm just going to take it over to the right side, lengthening from the waist over and then opposite side. And just make a loop of that so you're going from right to left. But think about reaching up towards the ceiling. So you're not collapsing down into the waist, you're reaching up and over. So again, really lifting from the rib cage out of the body. One more on each side, up and over, and then just meet back at the top. From here, you're just going to halo the head with this band. So you're going to start to do some circles. Everything stays still. So you can see I'm not moving my chest, I'm not moving my hips, I'm just moving the hands. And all I'm doing is simply bringing the strap forward and then haloing it over the right side. So I'm staying in one direction at this point in time. And it comes back over the left. Keep that going. You might feel a few crunching noises, like I can, and then change direction. So again, everything stays still. We're just haloing that band. Opposite direction. And then just meet back in the middle again. Okay, next up, you're going to bring the strap to that start position again, and this time you're going to do the same halo movement. We're just going to make it a little bit bigger. So you're going to take this strap now over the right shoulder, round the back of the head, and then just come forward opposite side. And then I want you to go back in the opposite direction. So you're going to then go back over the left shoulder, round the back of the head, and then come forward over the right shoulder, back to that start position overhand grip. Now start to just make that a little bit more dynamic. So this is a little bit different because we've just got a little bit more movement going on than the first version. Take it over the shoulder, round the back of the head. One more on each side. Back to your start position. Now we're going to make this even more dynamic because you're actually going to come all the way down to the floor. So let's just start, same as before, overhand grip, taking it over the right shoulder, round to the left, but you're going to scoop down to the floor this time. So we're doing a forward fold and then go back in the opposite direction. Round the back of the head, over the shoulder, and then come down into a bit of a forward fold, opposite direction. So now we're just bringing the hips into the movement, bending the knees, keep it nice and fluid, down to the floor. There's still a halo movement, so it should feel nice on the shoulders. One more on each side. Get that breath nice and fluid. And then just meet back in that start position. Next up, we're going to take the band behind the body. So again, start in that position, overhand grip. You're just going to lift the band overhead. At this point in time, we've got hands parallel to the feet, but you're going to keep going. Now, I want you to make sure you don't flare the rib cage at this point in time and push the belly forward and bend, hyperextending the lower back. So if you watch me from here, all I'm doing is simply keep the hips tucked under, make sure the rib cage isn't flaring out, and just start to take the shoulders back a little bit. Now I'm quite mobile, so for me this is quite easy and I can go all the way, but that's because I'm flexible. So this is not the goal of this movement. The goal of this movement, or the point of this exercise, is to actually just start to really open up the chest. So you might feel that is just enough for you at this point in time, and then come back to your start position, and then just make a loop of that movement, so opening up the chest. Again, be careful to keep the rib cage over the hips. Pull the band apart at the top if you are using a resistance band. And then if you want to, you can go into full dislocations, just again to take the shoulder through its full range of motion and just keep going with that. as a movement. Again, if you are super flexible, this won't necessarily feel that challenging for you. And then from here, just meet back with the arms overhead. In this position, you're just going to start to fold forward, take the chest down towards the floor, but you're going to start to take the hands behind the head a little bit, soft knees, relax the neck, look at the floor, so make sure you're extending through the neck, and start to, again, just think about taking the hands a little bit further, so you're just really working into shoulders, opening up the chest here, and then just come back up to your start position. I'll go sideways on, so hopefully you can see this a little bit better. Same thing again, take the chest forward, take the hands behind the head, and again, just enjoy that stretch, soft knees, come back. If you are, again, kind of really working into this, you might want to go a little bit further and take it all the way back, so you've kind of got chest parallel to the floor, but you're almost in that overhead position, overhead squat position again. One more time, take it forward. And then just come back and from here, you're just going to do some more side reaches. So we're going to take it over to the side, but then hold in this position. Really think about, again, extending up towards the ceiling and reaching that strap wide as well. So we're, again, working into the hips here. Other side, same thing, over, but we're holding it this time a little bit. Reach up towards the ceiling. Really nice side stretch. And then release. Taking it down to the floor, you're just going to hook the belt or the strap. You're just going to hook it under the feet and then start to think about soft knees here. Lengthen the spine so your chest is kind of parallel to the floor. You've got a nice flat back, and then you're just going to use the strap here to gently pull the body down. You've got a micro bend at the knee. We're not kind of bent knees, but a micro bend so you're not hyperextending the knee joint. And then just pull gradually, or kind of lever the chest down towards the floor. Again, extend through the neck so the crown of the head is always directing forward. You're not kind of rounding at this point in time, and just work into those hamstrings a little bit. So let's sync our breath. So inhale. As you exhale, just pull. Inhale, exhale and pull. And then just release. And then if you can, so release the feet from this position. I just want you to drop into a squat position. Depending on flexibility, you may find deep squat easy and you can just kind of drop in and move around here. Or again, you might be you find the deep squat quite hard. You might want to hold on to something at this point in time and just sink back and just hold in that deep squat position. Just sit here for a second, open up the hips, and then just release. We're going to do a little bit of overhead work, or overhead squat work now. So again, using your band, take that overhand grip. You're just going to take it now overhead, same as before, so that the band is parallel to the feet, and then just work into a deep squat. Now it might be that you get to 90 degrees and that feels enough for you, so you can just sink the hips back, and that might be it. What the band is doing is just keeping your chest elevated. Again, ideally, if you're super flexible, you don't want to be kind of hyperextending in this position. You want to make sure band is over the feet, sink the hips back, and start to work on the depth. So let's get a few reps going. Think about taking hamstrings down onto calves if you want to get right into that deep squat. Again, this is easier for me because I'm quite flexible. You work to your range of motion. Let's go for another 5, 4, get your breath nice and fluid, 3, 2, and last one. Nice. And then from here, you're just going to take it down onto your bum into a seated position. And we're just going to use the band to do some nice hamstring stretches. So from here, legs extended, body nice and tall, just hook the band over soles of the feet, about mid-foot here, and then actually just shuffle the hips back a bit so you can fully extend the legs and just bring the body nice and tall. All you're going to do from here is just think about bending the elbows and bringing the body forward, but keep lengthening the spine. So I'm not rounding forward at this point in time. I'm actually extending through the crown of the head. Everything is going up towards the ceiling. And then think about taking the elbows down towards the floor. So we're really working into hamstrings here. Hips, calves, back of the knees. Think about pressing the back of the knees here. And this is the benefit of kind of having a strap. You can lose the tension in head and neck. Sometimes when we're reaching in this position, everything goes to head and neck. Whereas here, what we can just start to do is think about taking everything, like the elbows down towards the mat, and think about just relaxing head and neck. And then once you're here, just bring your attention to the breath. So inhale, exhale, and just pull. Again, elbows are kind of going down towards the mat, pulling towards the waist. Inhale, exhale, pull. One more time, inhale, exhale, pull. And then just slowly release. Just going to work on one leg at a time. So this time hook the strap over the right foot, and then you're just going to bend the knee, bring it up first, and think about pulling the knee in towards the armpit in this position here. So using the band, again, keeping everything nice and relaxed. Think about lowering the elbows down towards the hips, towards the rib cage a little bit more, and pull that knee towards the armpit, and just start to make a loop of that movement. So extend it, and then pull it, open up the hips. And then you're just going to go into a nice hamstring stretch from here. So extend that leg out in front of you, flex the foot, and think about, again, pulling the elbows in towards the hips and just lifting that leg up as high as it will go, where you can feel that comfortable stretch. I don't want you to, I want you to check your face at this point in time. If you're like that, you've gone too far. We're not kind of working on flexibility now. There's too much tension. So again, check in with the head and neck, relax everything, and then just start to lift. And now let's bring our attention to our breath. Inhale. As you exhale, just increase that stretch. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Think about just extending the back of the knee. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, lift. And then just release from there. Hook over the other side. And same thing again. So we're going to just draw the knee in towards the armpit. A couple of times, open up the hip. And then just extend. And from here, think about, again, bring the body tall, relax head and neck, and lift. Once you're in this position, flex the foot. Think about bringing your attention back to your breathing. Inhale. And exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. And from here, just release. And then our final stretch, you're just going to take it down onto your back. This is a really nice one to do for a long period of time. You might want to stick the telly on, maybe an entire box set. All you're going to do is hook, again, the band, this time over the soles of the feet, but we're lying on our back. Now, I really want you to be relaxed in this position, so you may have to get a different type of strap or belt. If you can't, get your elbows to the floor without straining. So this one's quite a heavy strap, so it's not actually ideal for this one. But I want you to be almost in this position with the legs straight and your elbows are on the floor, and we're just extending through the hamstrings. Heels are going up towards the ceiling, but everything else is relaxed. So you can now really start to think about the breathing in this position. So from here, again, this is something that you should be able to hold for quite a long period of time. You know that you've got it right. But every now and then you might want to just pull towards the body, loosen up the lower back. Really good if you've been sitting all day long as well. And then from this position here, you're actually going to release the left leg down towards the floor and just stay with the right for a second. Now again, I want you to think about being relaxed here. So you're pulling elbows towards the floor, extending the leg, heel goes up towards the ceiling, but it shouldn't feel horrible. It should feel nice and relaxing. Bring the attention to your breath. And then you're going to take hold of the strap with just the right hand here. Place the left arm by your side and just start to take it out to the side a little bit. Again, if you can, just have the elbow on the floor so you're nice and relaxed. And you're just working on opening up the hips, stretching hamstring in this position. Try and keep the left hip, like bring the attention to the left hip, make sure that's not lifted and rolled inward. So again, we've got a nice flat back. Both hips are kind of nicely positioned, seated on the floor. If you're really flexible, you might want to go right out to the side. But again, think about everything being nice and relaxed. Come back to the middle, a few more breaths here. So think about, again, just levering that leg up towards the body. Sometimes you get a little bit more range of motion with the single leg versions of these stretches. And then just release. All that on the other side. Hook the strap over left foot, extend up towards the ceiling. Think about just kind of a few stretches here. So drawing the elbows back towards the hips. Hold it here, a few breaths. So just hook the strap over left foot. Again, think about a few breaths here. So drawing the elbows towards the hips, flex the foot, point the heel up towards the ceiling, relax everything. A few breaths. And then taking hold of the strap with the left hand, we're going to take it out to the left side, nice and gently. Think about bringing the attention to your right hip. Extend the right arm out to the side just to give you a little bit of stability. Press the right hip down into the floor whilst you take the left leg out to the side. Again, make sure this is relaxing. This was relax. A few more breaths. And then just bring it back to the middle. Release from the strap. Just bring your knees to your chest. Rock side to side. Just take a twist here, so bring right knee to the body and then just twist it across the body, keeping the shoulders flat on the floor. I'm struggling with the microphone here, but move it. So taking the right knee across the body to the floor and then back to the middle. Left knee comes in, extend the right leg out and take the left knee across the body. Again, bring the attention to your shoulders, just work them back towards the floor. Come back to the center and just gently rock back into your seated position. And you're done. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. Give me a shout if you have any questions at all.